Jim LeDuc here again for another old guy show. Back at you, and I told you in my last show that I was going to talk to you about squishies. So I have grandkids and I like to please them, and I will kind of share with you my secret to making sure that your grandkids think that you're the favorite grandpa or favorite grandparent. Okay. So I used Pavlov's old experiment with his dogs, right? And he would ring a bell, and then he would bring them food and they'd salivate. Now, they didn't salivate because of the bell, they salivated because of the food. So he would continue to do that over a series of times consistently. He'd ring a bell, he would immediately follow up by giving them some food, and they'd salivate. Well, guess what happened? Over time, they developed what's called classical conditioning. And all he had to do was ring the bell, and the dogs would salivate, even if the food wasn't there. However, guess what? If he kept ringing the bell and stopped bringing food after a period of time, the dogs would stop salivating. That's called extinction. But the good news is, if he started ringing the bell and bringing the food back again, the dogs would immediately start salivating again, and that's a reconditioning. That's called spontaneous recovery. So there's your psychology lesson for the day, and it relates to my grandkids because I want them to associate grandpa with something good, something good. So like when they were infants, and my family doesn't believe this, but I really did. I put a little bit of strawberry Nestle's Quick in their baby formula bottles, shook it up and gave it to them. You should see the little baby's eyes go big and they kind of get that smile there, sucking on that bottle. And boy, did they, and they'd look at me and I'd smile and they'd smile. And you know what? I classically conditioned them to whenever they were around grandpa to smile. And so later on in life, I'd find little gems to give them. Whenever they see grandpa, they get something fun or nice or sweet or good. And they like grandpa. That continuous conditioning keeps going. And yeah, I'm the favorite. So lately, I found something that the grandkids are crazy about. In fact, it's a craze going through the nation. And it's squishies of all things. And they started out with these squishy jellyfish. Now there's a company, this is a little box that I got out of, and it's a company that's called, right here, it's called, up here, it's called NIDO. And they started making these squishy things. And now there's companies that are imitating their packaging and their name, because they're made in countries that don't recognize trade rules or trade laws, right? Violating copyright or trademark. So, but it's hard to find the NIDO ones. They are good. They're squishies, but they're kind of a little firmer. But let me tell you how I got introduced to them. So I saw this ad for jellyfish. And these jellyfish were the first craze. They were amazing. And look how big that one is. That is big. Okay. But they would show a commercial of adults swamping this big basket of squishies at the store and taking them in like 10 seconds. And they looked like this. But when you ordered them, they were this size. Total deceptive advertising. It really ticked me off. See how they squish like that? And pretty soon you're like addicted and you can't go to sleep and it's terrible. So anyway, so start with the little jellyfish. Now, let me share with you some kinds of squishies that I found. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them on Temu. You can get them on just about anywhere. You can get them on, of course, eBay, and you can get them on other like Chinese companies. And so I started buying them and researching them and trying to do my best to get the correct NIDOs, and I'm still not really sure. But now, you know, you can get like here's a little duck, right? And you squeeze it. Yeah, it's squishy. These are pretty fun, and they're pocket size. These are good. You can just kind of and then and I don't think that's NIDO, but it doesn't matter. They're all good. Here's these little monsters. These are great. You can get 3 of them for like $17, and they are really squishy. Now you can also get, these are axolotls. You know, axolotl stuff are really cool. So are capybara stuff that you can get. And see the axolotl, the amazing creature, axolotl. I didn't even know about these till my granddaughter started talking to me about axolotls, and she went nuts. Okay, so then this is one that's disturbing, but the grandkids went wild. It's like a squishy baby. See, squish its head. Look at that. You just kind of squish this baby like, oh yeah, that's wonderful. I'm squishing a baby. Look at that. And they are a little disturbing. You know, it looks a little, I don't know, looks a little creepy, but hey, they love these. Now, these have this little disc on the top where they seal all the juice in there. And sometimes this gets loose. And my granddaughter said, Grandpa, all you got to do is glue it with fingernail glue. I know, okay. So I bought some and it seems to work pretty good. So these babies come in all different colors, like the axolotls and the ducks. Let's see, what else do I have? The monsters. Okay, now let's get into, and then of course you got the squishy butter. Whoops, the squishy butter. You know what I mean? And they've got these that are about like that big, really big, and they're kind of fun, but they get old kind of fast. But they're a good start. You can buy butter now for cheap, the butter ones. So let's get into some NIDO stuff. So these are called splats. It looks like a splat, right? And they have this little cap on them again, and these will break. And these were supposedly actual NIDO from a NIDO distributor, whatever that means. But this little cap, this little lid that they seal it with, it's got a seal around it, and sometimes that'll come off, these splats. But they are squishy and they're fun. And I can't. Okay, I got to get back to it. So then they have cubes, and the cubes are awesome. This happens to be a Pepsi cube. Now, you might think, is there Pepsi in there? No. Does it smell like Pepsi? No, it smells like chemicals that are carcinogenic in properties. But no, it's just got the seal on it, and they cost more. But these cubes are pretty amazing. They're, oh boy, they are so squishable. They're just really cool. And they have different little soda flavors and stuff. Not flavors, you don't eat them. Just logos. You get the logos on there. I don't know why the logo rubs off over time. So I showed you the jellyfish. They come, this one, this big one, oh my gosh, this thing is so incredible. Let me get it out of the package here. Oh yeah, look at this baby. Look at that baby now. And that's kind of hard. The firmer ones to squeeze, those are really the legit NIDO ones. But man, these are incredible. These are expensive. These are about 20 bucks, maybe more. I don't know, but they're a lot of fun. Okay. And you can just squeeze them all day. They're for stress relief. No, they're not. They're a money maker where people have created a craze, they created a demand, and the supply is on shortage. And so guess what? The prices go up. That's an economic law. The law of supply and demand. When supply grows, it goes scarce, the price goes up. That's what Harley Davidson did. They kept their products scarce and their prices were high. And then, of course, the other side is when there's overstock and too much, then the prices drop, which is kind of what's happening now. But with NIDOs, they're still pretty high. Okay, so this is, you can see the NIDO package. There's another way the cubes come. The cubes come, and this is the package for the jellyfish, right? The jellyfish right there. And they come in one of these little things right here, purple and pink and blue. Awesome. So then finally, so these squishies are unbelievable. You can get all different kinds. You can get like balls and eggs and teardrops and gumdrops and snowballs, and boy, it's endless. Just look it up. So I got one more. I wanted to tease my grandkids. So it started with the squishy dumplings, right? And so we got a lot of those, and they love those. But I decided I was just going to tease my grandkids. So I got the jumbo. They have Halloween dumplings now. They've got every glitter, solid color, glow in the dark, Halloween ones. But you got to be careful because some of them you think they're big and they come in they're like 2 inches big like this. But I got a jumbo just to show my grandkids. It's in my office, and this is it right here. Look at that baby. Look how big that is. Now let's open up the little dumpling. See, it's got a little dumpling pack, just like you got dumplings at the little Asian restaurant. So I take the lid off right there, and there is my dumpling. Let me take it out right here. Look at this baby. Now this baby would choke an elephant, let me tell you. So it's got a cute little smiling face. It's got the little dumpling top, and you just squish it, and you know, you can hit yourself like that, or you can throw it, and but if you throw it at somebody, you're going to probably knock them out. These things are. This is probably about, I don't know, 8 to 10 pounds. It's got substance, and you can just squeeze that all day. They also have ducks that are big you can squeeze, and capybaras that are big that you can squeeze, and kitties and bunnies, and man, it never ends. And it's the new craze. Squishy dumplings is where it started, and you'll find them in convenience stores now. I saw it at a restaurant, like in Baker on my way to Vegas. They have them everywhere. Everybody saw them at the beach store where they're selling seashells and T-shirts for Newport Beach, and sand toys and boogie boards. They also are selling squishies because everybody buys them and everybody needs them. And I don't know how it started, but it started with, you got to buy some of these. It was a frenzy with moms on an ad on the internet, like on Instagram, and boom. It was an instant national sensation. I can't explain it, but when you start squeezing these things, it's like nothing you've ever experienced. And then, of course, if you get a hole in one, then you get out the fingernail glue, which my granddaughter told me works, and it does work pretty good. And I got it on Amazon. I got 4 bottles of it for cheap. And the newest one I got for the grandkids, because it was cheap, I got a bunch of these little ducks, and they're fun to squeeze. And man, they're great. They're awesome. So, and am I going to give away these jellyfish, or my jumbo dumpling? Not on your life. Or my cubes? No way. They're staying right here in my office. If I have a tough day, I'm just going to pull out the big cube and just squeeze away until I get carpal tunnel. But apparently, if I exercise enough, I won't get carpal tunnel. So squishies is the new phase. Be careful. If you really want to get the original, they're NIDO and they're hard to find, but they're legit. The other ones are pretty good, you know, like these little monster guys. These are great. They're kind of more firm, and they're fun, and they're different colors. And all the kids, you can get these two on Amazon. I got the monsters and the ducks and the axolotls. And the axolotls are fun too. And these are kind of harder to squeeze. And look, I'm just going crazy. Stop. How they say this are anti-stress, because I'm so stressed out if I put it down. It's like, oh, I can't. So I gotta go feed my craving. I gotta feed the disease. I gotta feed the fire. So I gotta go. But anyway, that's my little lesson on squishies today. Be careful what you're buying. Remember, if they spring a leak, yep, fingernail glue. And so this is the old guy, Jim LeDuc, on my old guy show. Checking out. You guys take care. Be good. Do something nice for somebody else without expecting anything in return. It'll make you feel good about life. And think about the good things in life, the little tender mercies that are brought our way just to make us happier from a supreme being who loves us and wants us to be happy. So hang in there, and we'll see you soon with my next episode. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I thought about doing enemas, but we'll see. That's a bold one, but you know, I've talked about the rectal area before and about discharge and elimination before, so I might come back with an encore. Until then, it's Jim LeDuc checking out. You take care.